The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Scott Earhart here with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy day to join us. I think you're going to find the next hour really valuable and really timely for your sales efforts. Here in just a bit, I'm going to hand control over to one of our national sales coaches, Mr. Dave Pimper, and we are going to look at Social Security claiming as well as Social Security marketing and prospecting. A lot of interest in the subject. I'm sure many of you noticed that we put out a white paper today. You should have received an email on the Secure Act, causing a lot of confusion with taxation, Social Security, retirement age, things like that. So really good time to be talking about this. Before I hand it over to Dave, I'm going to go through just a few housekeeping items and a few introductory slides, and then we'll get going with the meat and potatoes of today's presentation. First housekeeping item I'm going to hit on, and probably the most important thing you'll hear out of my mouth today, is in the top right hand corner of your screen. That's our phone number, 800-255-5055. If there's anything we can be doing here at IAMS to help you in your life, annuity, insurance in general, or with your assets under management, please don't hesitate to give us a call. We'd certainly love the opportunity to be assisting you in earning your business if we can. Second housekeeping item, I will launch 3 polling questions throughout the presentation today. If you would please take the time to participate in those, we really do appreciate it. Simple yes or no clicks on that, so very easy to participate in, and we really do appreciate everyone joining in on those polling questions. And then the final housekeeping item are questions. We're going to throw a lot of information at you here in the next 55 minutes or so, and Dave does a great job of answering as many questions as we can while we're in session. So please feel free to type in any questions you have. We will do the best we can to get to those while we are on the presentation. If we don't get to your question, one of my sales directors will be following up with you later on in the day or tomorrow, so we will get those answered for you at that point. That being said, let's get into a few introductory slides here, and I want to start with IAMS Business Builders. 2 programs here, and all we're going to talk about is putting dollars back into your pocket, and we'll start with our Referred Producer Program. Our business here on the wholesale side of the industry, really similar to yours in the field, in that one of the best leads we will ever obtain is a referral from one of our valued clients, or you, our valued advisors. So we want to make it worth your while to refer other producers over to us. When you refer an individual to us and they pick up any license with any of our carriers, we're going to send you a $50 thank you check. Now, where the real money comes in is as your referral writes business. We're going to give you a 20 basis point override on that. Our ownership group, Steve Murray, Charles Hiring, Curtis Hawks, sign those checks at least quarterly, and they do total into the thousands and thousands of dollars. So very lucrative for you. If you can think of anyone that would benefit from doing business with us here at IAMS, please feel free to type their name into the questions box. You can email me their contact information, scott@iamsinc.com, or when one of my sales directors does call to follow up with you, just let them know who they are. We'll do the best we can to get them recruited over to us here at IAMS, and hopefully get you on your way to earning some referred producer dollars in the near future. Below that is marketing reimbursement, and I'm going to put a little asterisk as I talk about this. You're going to see here in the coming weeks some really exciting new announcements from us with marketing reimbursement programs or business building programs. So keep an eye out for that. As we sit right now, marketing reimbursement, rough numbers on that: for every 100,000 in premium you place through IAMS, we put $100 into your marketing reimbursement account. Now, why this program is so popular is we truly do consider that to be your dollar, your money. We're not going to put restrictions on you for vendors you can use. As long as it's a business expense, we're going to reimburse it. So Yeah, very, very popular program there. If you have any questions on marketing reimbursement or where your account sits, just let us know. We can certainly have that conversation with you. New producer builders, same thing. Here, a little asterisk. As I talk about this in the coming weeks, you're going to see a pretty big announcement on this, and we're really excited about it. Not sure why my slide's showing up a little condensed like that, but I'll talk through it real quick. Sorry about uh, the look of the slide here. New producer builders based on your production within your first 180 days of being licensed with us. Right now, 3 great levels to cash in at. Inside of each level, you're going to have cash rewards, you're going to have business building tools, you're going to have personal perks, a lot of great stuff available to you there. So if you'd like to learn more about that, please let us know. We'd certainly love to chat with you about that. Back office support. This slide is truly the core of who we are here at IAMS and how Charles Hiring founded us almost 34 years ago now, helping independent advisors work smarter and not harder. And we do that with a lot of great offers, great partnership with the independent advisor. Business building tools and resources. You just saw some of those. We've got great resources at IAMSinc.com, great resources here internally that you can access by giving us a phone call or shooting us an email. Great training as I think you'll experience here on today's webinar. Case design assistance and life and annuity quotes. We make a commitment to our advisors. I'm sure you've called into our office before and you understand we have the 3-ring guarantee. If you haven't, as soon as I'm done on the webinar today, I ask you to give our office a call. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. You'll have a live person answer the phone within 3 rings, and that live person will either be able to assist you or direct you to someone who can. We're going to make a similar commitment to you when it comes to case design and quoting. 24-hour guarantee. We're going to have that illustration out to you or that case design out to you within 24 business hours of your request. Definitely something that we are committed to doing and making sure you have all the tools that you need to make your sales process as effective as possible. Forms at your fingertips next. Great. We appoint direct with carriers, so you can go to carriers for forms. You can go to our website, IAMSinc.com, for forms. You can call us or email us for forms. We will ship them to you. We will email them to you. We'll get them to you however you need them. But we're committed, the same way we're committed to making sure we answer your phone and get you the tools you need to write business. We are committed to making sure the paper that you're writing that business on is in good order and is current. Submission to commission support. This is all about our new business team and us acting as your back office. We scrub apps, we submit apps, we track the applications for you, and we've got an entire team dedicated here, a team dedicated to annuity business, team dedicated to life business. They are headed by Amber Williams, and this team does a fantastic job. My challenge to you would be, if you've never used IAMS to a new business team, the next application you write, submit it through our office. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at how much quicker you get commissioned because of this team's effort than if you were trying to go it alone. If you have any questions on how the new business team works, please let us know. And also that there's no charge to use our new business team. It doesn't cost you any comp. There's no bill that's going to be sent to you. That's just part of the services that we offer here at IAMS, and we're pretty darn good at it. Top sales coaching and expertise. You'll see a lot about that here in just a few minutes when Mr. Pimper joins us. In order to be a sales coach here at IAMS, you've got to be a top producer in the industry. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second, but we've got the expertise and the coaching in the field to help you grow your practice, and we can give you really, really quick access to it. And then paperless contracting. We are on the SuranceBay platform, so if you ever need to add a contract with IAMS, all you have to do is click a button. Really, really easy process there. Creative marketing solutions. We do have an in-house creative team here. They are headed by Jacob Tedlock and Curtis Hawks. Great staff. Graphic designers, web designers, copywriters. A lot of great stuff available to you with this team. Turnkey solutions. We've got a huge library of marketing material that's readily available, and all you have to do is get your logo and contact information imposed on it. We will do that for you, and they are ready to be sent out. Speaking of logo and contact information, we do have our agency solutions package. If you haven't created a consistent and customized brand for your practice, I'd tell you to do so. It really will pay dividends for you. Name recognition, consistency really will pay dividends for you. And we can certainly do that for you. And then, of course, digital solutions, websites, marketing strategies, email, newsletters, social media, all available to you here through Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Anything that I talked about here is of interest to you, please give us a call. Ask for Jacob, ask for Sean, ask for Riley here in the office. We'd love to be helping you with your marketing needs there. Our website, I know I've mentioned it a couple times. When we're done with the presentation today, if you haven't gone out and created an account, I'd encourage you to do so. IAMSinc.com, ever evolving. It's a constant process, but we're really happy to continually work on that process. A lot of great features and tools out there for you. Sales tools, term quote engine, annuity quote engine, forms online, product news, industry links, all available to you. Firelight's platform available to you if you want to do e-apps. Sales resource library out there for you if you're looking for tax facts, you're looking for marketing stuff, you're looking for fact finders, all that available to you at IAMSinc.com. Errors and omissions. If you're renewing E&O, I'd tell you we've got a great partnership with Locked in Affinity. You can price it out right there on our website. Definitely take a look. If you haven't registered, again, when we're done with this presentation, please go out, get registered. We'd love to see you using it. Retirement Analyzer, another great tool that we offer to our advisors. If you're not using a software to show your clients why you're making the recommendations that you are, I'd tell you to take a look at Retirement Analyzer. I'm a big fan of the RA. It's a really holistic look at a client's retirement portfolio, where it stands now, and then a projection using specific product, using specific rates, using specific sales techniques, and financial techniques for where they'll be when they want to retire. And I'll tell you this, I think it's a great closing tool because it's very plain language. This was designed with the end consumer in mind. It wasn't designed for specifically for the financial advisor. It's designed to partner with the financial advisor and help them present to clients. So in very plain language, very simple to understand graphs, it will show how much longer the client's money will last in retirement because they implement your product recommendation or your overall strategy. That being said, we can get you out a link for the free trial of it. We can get you out some training videos that we have on it. Marcus Solar in our office is our point man for Retirement Analyzer. So if it's of interest to you, just give Marcus a call, and he can certainly get the ball rolling for you. IAMS Wealth Management. As I talk about IAMS Wealth Management, I'm going to launch our first poll of the day. And all I'm asking you here is if you'd like more information about our RIA. If you click yes, you're going to get an automated email and you'll get a phone call from Mike Hansen, I believe, in our retirement or in our wealth management office. That being said, Mike will just answer any questions you have, give you a brief overview. We founded IAMS Wealth, oh boy, coming up on 3 years now, I believe, and we've seen a ton of growth with it, and it's been just a fantastic addition to the IAMS family. We designed it specifically to help our internal insurance advisor expand their business, and we've done a great job with that. Seen a lot of organic growth because of that, and have really helped advisors expand their practice. That being said, we've got some great training partners out there. If you are someone that's considering adding assets under management into your offerings, I'd tell you to click yes. We can certainly help you pass that 65. Also, if you're an existing IAR, we've had a lot of interest because of our pricing, our technology, and our overall platform I'd tell you to click yes and kick the tires. Have the conversation with Mike. I think it's very, very worthwhile for you. That being said, I'm going to close down this poll. If you haven't taken the time to, um, uh, click yes or no, please do so now. That being said, thank you everyone. Do appreciate that. Okay, moving on. I'm going to launch the second poll. Then we're going to be done with polls for a while. I'm sorry to launch them back to back, but just kind of the way the slide deck's built out. This one I'm asking you if you'd like further information on our Life and Annuity Academy. If you click yes, you'll receive another automated email, and that will actually put you onto our interested parties list. So now is a very timely date for this slide. We are actively working on our first Life and Annuity Academy of 2020. We are going to host 3 or 4. We are looking at mid-March. I don't have exact dates, but mid-March is what we're looking at here. In our Life and Annuity Academy, first and foremost, these are all expenses paid. These are all expenses paid. We will fly you in on a Wednesday. We will fly you home on a Friday, hopefully have you home in time for dinner. We do jam pack it. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. There's a lot of information here on these. We are going to bring in some of our national sales coaches from throughout the country. One of those who you'll hear from here very shortly is Dave Pimper. Been a great partner to us. And basically, when someone obtains the level of national sales coach with us here at IAMS, it's not just because they're good at talking to other advisors. It's because they truly do walk the walk. These are top producers, and they're going to show you exactly what it is that they do in their daily practice that makes them so successful. And they're going to give you the ability to take that home and implement it in your own practice. So really, really strong information there. And as I'm talking about it, I believe Mr. Pimper has joined us. Dave, can you hear us?
Ken, how you doing?
Good, buddy. Good. Thank you for your time today. I can't talk about Life and Annuity Academy without giving you a platform here, buddy. Anything you want to add?
No, I tell you what, it's kind of a special thing within the industry. Most of the FMOs, marketing organizations, the Dog and Pony Show is product driven, and not, Scott, as you know, not that we don't cover some product that can be important, but really getting in front of people, marketing ideas, advertising ideas, prospecting ideas, appointment ideas, sales process ideas. That is really the mainstay of that Annuity Academy. And what I like about it is that it's not cliquish. I mean, I've been to other FMOs where, I don't know the people. I'm brand new, so I kind of feel like an outsider. Scott, as you know, we try to make everybody feel part of the family, part of the IAMS family. Each night after the presentation is done, there's always a group that gathers, and sometimes it's multiple groups in multiple areas, and it's all paid for by IAM. So there's a lot of fun and a bit of libations, and we have really a good time. So to take 2.5 days, almost 3 days out of your work week, you better go back and have some really good ideas that hopefully you can put into action. And I think if you're invited, if you're fortunate enough to be invited to IAM's Annuity Life Academy, I think it's time well spent for sure.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Dave. And we're going to have 3 or 4 opportunities here in 2020 for you to attend. And again, we should be announcing the first dates here very, very quickly, which we're really excited about. I think it's going to be very worthwhile for a lot of our advisors. That being said, I'm going to close this down. So if you haven't taken the time to click yes or no on this poll, please do so now, and we'll get moving on here. Thank you, everyone. All right. Just a couple of quick highlights that I want to hit before we hand it over to Dave and get it started. Baja Oasis, we're still qualifying for that. This is a IAMS exclusive trip. We partner with Athene, so it's all based on Athene business. we are going to the Montage in Los Cabos. That's an actual picture of the Montage. If you've ever been to Cabo, you know there aren't any swimmable beaches in Cabo because of the rip current. This is the only swimmable beach in Cabo. It's a beautiful facility. Definitely want to have you there. If you'd like to know where you stand, you'd like to chat a little bit about how we can get you there, please let us know. Paradise on the Pacific. This is our big marketing summit that we do every 18 months. Qualification period is running through the end of this year. Right now, we are offering double trip credits for any business submitted in January. 3.5 million trip credits gets you on this trip. We will be at the Secrets in Puerto Vallarta, a beautiful, beautiful facility. We've actually used Secrets properties in the past for our marketing summit, and they are top-notch facilities. Very excited for that. If you'd like to know where you stand or what we can do to help you cross that 3.5 million trip credit threshold, let me know. I'd love to have that conversation with you. And we are going to extend beyond that for our Elite Advisor Summit. Minimum qualifications for this is 6.5 million points. We will have an instant qualification level. This is going to be limited on space, so that's why we have the minimum requirement and then the instant qualification at 8.5 million trip credits. Double credits do count towards this, so it is available to you. Be at the Four Seasons in Punta Mita directly after the Puerto Vallarta trip, so very, very exclusive resort there. Certainly should be worth, will be worth everyone's while that gets to attend that. That being said, I'm going to give control over to Mr. Pimper here, and we will get into the meat and potatoes of the presentation.
Yep, that sounds great. And Scott, our presentation will take right around 30 minutes, just so you can plan your day. I appreciate everybody being with us today. Scott, thank you for your part with IAMS and heading up the marketing crew. And let's go in and get some information on Social Security claiming to the folks that are on board today. First of all, my name is Dave Pimper. I've been in the business since 1981 in the financial service arena. The majority of my business is securities, but about 20% is fixed indexed annuities and fixed annuities. And marketing has really played favor with Dave Pimper through the years. I like getting in front of people. I like having lots of face-to-face appointments. And so my two main marketing programs are seminars, which I've given over 500 seminars since the mid-'80s. And then I have a Retirement Boss Radio is a hour-long hosting of a financial show called Retirement Boss Radio on the big power watt AM station, 50,000 watt Rush Limbaugh station in Omaha. And that are those two ways that bring in the majority of my new business that I push through. Social Security is a very interesting subject because I'll tell you right now, most people don't really have an understanding of Social Security. And so what happens is that the folks who you're talking with, they really expect you to know Social Security, but only about 15% of all advisors, agents, RIA folks have a true understanding. So one of the things about this marketing program is not do you just get hopefully in front of, say after a marketing program, hopefully our goal is for 10 new appointments from this at least minimum. What happens is that you also will learn Social Security. So if you've got questions, just put them on in, and we'll be more than happy to answer those at the end. This comes from Mary Beth Franklin. If you get investment news, it's an industry rag, a good industry rag, a little more from the investment, but it certainly has insurance too. But it says the majority of future retirees threaten to switch from advisors who don't offer guidance. Nearly 80% of future retirees who work with a financial advisor said they would switch advisors to maximize their Social Security benefits. Many financial advisors shy away from Social Security conversation because they feel they don't know enough about the complex topic. And then lastly, despite the apparent reluctance among some financial advisors to offer Social Security guidance, it seems to be an increasing priority for clients. Clients want it. If you're working with the retired group, I'll tell you right now, your client wants to know when the best time to take that Social Security. Our new program, $2,500 for a guaranteed 25 buying units of attendance. We strictly use Facebook marketing. I'm an old dude. I'm 64 years old. Going to be 65 here in a couple months. And you know what? I'll tell you right now. I mean, I have Facebook, but I barely know how to get on it. I've never made a post on Facebook. But lots of people. Now I don't have grandkids yet, so that might make a difference. But lots of folks are on Facebook, especially women, divorced women, widowed women, women in general who take charge. We have more women come to our workshops than we had earlier, but most of those women can make decisions on their own, and it's been very fruitful. Hopefully, that we've given great information, but we've helped them also with their fixed life insurance and securities portfolio. The cost of the campaign is less, $2,500, and hardly ever do you find a guarantee. But things like budget optimization you can't do with a mailing. There are demographics, artificial intelligence pixels. You can't get that with a mailing. It's things that make, the more you do, the better. This kind of artificial intelligence, the better it gets to know of that person that it's going to actually go to and target. Much less setup time, and like I just got done with the last Tuesday and a week from today, and then I went even yesterday. And my goal is to get 10 to 15 appointments. If I can get that set appointments at the workshop, I'm extremely happy. And I was hot on this the last two. And of course, I've been doing this a lot. It's my presentation, but I got 23 appointments between those two nights. And I'll tell you right now, 23 appointments. Those appointments cost barely over $100 a piece. Extremely inexpensive. Am I expecting you to go in, do the program, and do that the very first time? No. But I'll tell you what, you follow the track, and the track absolutely will benefit you. Almost assured. We don't do, this is something brand new, which I will update that this week. But we aren't doing the tax reform slides where we're doing the Secure Act, talking about required minimum distributions going from 70.5 to 72. That just got passed on January 1st of this year, so it's only about 2 weeks old. We also talk about that you can put into IRAs if you have working income traditionals after the age of your RMDs. We're also talking about inherited IRAs. Can't take it out for a lifetime, but can only take it out for 10 years at the maximum. And then we talk about 401ks/annuities, where there's going to be lifetime income annuities and different types of guarantees from annuities that are going to be more prevalent within 401ks, really to replace the pension and to have maybe more guaranteed options. So it really fits. We don't sell it as a product, but we sell it as a technique within the Secure Act. And I think that those slides are very strong. So those are actually the slides themselves. As you can tell, this is slide 18, and we're really using this as our very first slide. But a stroll down memory lane, enacted in 1935. You can take your Social Security at age 65. The average age in 35 to die was 62. In 61, you can start taking early at a discount, and then later you can wait later for a surplus or an addition to your benefit. Cost of living came in 1975, called COLA, cost of living allowance, or really it's inflation, to stay up with inflation. There's only been 3 years. There hasn't been a COLA since 75. That's 2010, 2011, and 2016. Social Security was never taxed until 1983. They needed to firm up the Social Security Trust Fund. So in 83, if you're above certain brackets, so if you're above 32,000, married filing jointly, if you're between 32 and 44, you're going to go in and pay 50% of your income is going to be of Social Security income is going to be taxed. 50% of it is taxable. If you're above 44,000, 85% is taxable. The brackets started in 83. They don't have cost of living with it. Not very many people pay taxes on Social Security. A lot of people pay taxes on Social Security now. A lot of people in our profession quit doing Social Security workshops when the file and suspend was phased out after 6 months of 2015. But I tell you what, it makes virtually zero difference. I will say no difference. whether file and suspense available, whether restricted application, which it is still available as it phase out to 2024. So if you were born on January the 2nd or before of 1954, you could do restricted application, which we'll talk about here in a second. Again, any questions at all, certainly come in and ask. So let's go back. This is a real important slide here, one of the best slides. This is from Janet Herron. She is from an excerpt of her article. It headlines, "Doing this one thing with your Social Security means losing 100,000, could mean losing 100,000 in retirement." Bullet point 1, how much does claiming Social Security at the wrong time cost you? Bullet point number 2, retirees will lose an average of $111,000 in income per household over their lifetime because they took Social Security benefits at the wrong time. 111,000. And when people are in the crowd, like yesterday, I said, you know what, you're not going to. You're going to know, especially if you talk to me. I mean, we're going to go through the general stuff, but if you come in for the appointment, we're going to find out when the best time for you to claim is. And then bullet point number 3, overall, only 4% of retirees took Social Security at the financially optimal age. And it isn't just waiting to 70. It says here it depends on life expectancy, other income sources, future cost of retirement, if you're married or single, divorced, widowed. I'm telling you, there's a lot to go with Social Security. And then I might say here, though it's in a slide, the Social Security Administration, where most people get their information from, cannot give you advice. They can only give you your best and highest benefit right now. They cannot. Who gives advice? Moi. Dave Pimper does. I do. I give advice. That's why so many people mark yes at the end of this for a consultation, because they want advice. They want to be coached up on Social Security. That's just about how I say it. So each one of our slides has language with it. This is a proprietary. This is part of the IAMS seminar series. Another key one we do is a 401k IRA rollover that did very well with the mailed, but now we're testing it with the Facebook marketing. And though the vendor does not give a guarantee of buying units, I did 2 of those and have made good money on both of them. I have a fellow that's up in Maine that has had very good success. So we're certainly expanding this out, but Social Security is a very, very hot subject. So what's the basics of Social Security? Well, it's pretty simple. There's 3 ages or dates that are important. What are they? Age 62, the earliest you can start taking Social Security. Age 70, the latest date that you want to take your Social Security by, or you just lose your benefit, and then called full retirement age, when you get your normal retirement age, when you get your full benefit. If you're born between 1943 and 1954, it's age 66. It goes, like I was born in 55, 1 year after 54, so it's 66 years and 2 months. Then it goes up 2 months each year up to 1960 is later. Your full retirement age is 67. If you take earlier than full retirement, the benefit is you get the money now. The bad thing is it's reduced for the rest of your life. What happens if you wait after full retirement age? The good news is it increases, but you don't get the money now. But it increases for the rest of your life once you turn it on. Yeah, so that's kind of Social Security 101. Has a big benefit. Look, if you have a $2,000 benefit with a COLA of 2.8%, in 10 years, that total benefit is worth over $300,000. In 20 years, it's almost $675,000, and in 30 years, it's over $1.1 million has been paid to you. That's one person. It's a big, big benefit. Any questions, just mark them down. Be more than happy to ask them. So I have 5 myths. I don't go through all 5 myths here for the consideration of time. But the first Social Security myth is the Social Security going broke. And I heard my dad tell me multiple times, you better be saving, Dave, early. You better be putting money in that retirement plan, because there's not going to be Social Security when you retire. Well, you know what? I'll be 65 here in a couple months. Social Security's still here. They've gone 80 years without ever missing a benefit payment. Pretty wild. But that's how good most government programs are. Not quite this good. It's good. Believe it or not, in 2018, Social Security Trust Fund ran a surplus, which it has since 1983. Isn't that wild? Since 1983, Social Security has run a surplus. Now, it may not have in 2019, and it won't for sure in 2020. But if it keeps on going like it goes on right now, it's the trust fund's going to be bankrupt in the year 2035. That almost 2.9 trillion will be down to zero. So I always ask people, hey, if you have a $2,000 benefit coming in, and then all of a sudden in 2035 you're collecting that, and the trust fund with Social Security goes bankrupt, how much would you get after that? Well, a lot of people say nothing. If it's bankrupt, you get nothing. But they're wrong, because it's a pay-as-you-go system. Remember, it's paid by payroll taxes, part of FICA, Federal Insurance Contributions Act. 6.2% goes in for your cut, and the employer pays 6.2%. If you're self-employed like I am, and a lot of people on this line, we pay both sides of it, don't we? That's right. We pay in, but the benefit, as you see, can be astronomical. Astronomical. Because it's a pay-as-you-go system, it would pay for 80% of the benefit in 2035. So $1,000 would be $800, or $2,000 would be $1,600. You'd get a cut, but you wouldn't lose all because it's a pay-as-you-go. And they will firm this up. I mean, the government will come together through a lot of different ways, either through taxation or increasing the full retirement age. And I like to have fun. When you talk about full retirement age, like I'll go back to that slide. I double-clicked there. I apologize. You go back here, see where it says increase the maximum age 70 when you must increase the maximum age of 70 when you must start collecting. So maybe increase that to 73 or 4. Maybe you go in that full retirement age where it's 66 to 67 now. Increase that to 70. Get a load of this. The average person died at age 62 in 1935. Full retirement age was died at 62. The full retirement age was 65. I mean, great odds for the government. Well, the average person lives now to 80 or 80 plus, but the full retirement age is only 67. It's only gone up 2 years. I don't think it's a big deal at all to go to 70. And then I joke. I like to have fun when I'm giving my workshops. A lot of people will sign up because they like you, so you got to be amenable to the person. I would say, hey, I kind of like Dave Pemper. I think he knows what he's doing. But I'll say my 28-year-old son, who's a news editor at a local paper in the eastern Nebraska called Columbus Telegram in Columbus, Nebraska. If I said this weekend, Sam, we're going to raise your Social Security claiming full retirement age from 67 to 70 years of age, he'd tell me, who cares, Dad? Give me another beer. And then everybody laughs a little bit. 85% of millennials think Social Security won't be there when they retire anyway. I can almost assure you it will be. It's the largest government program in the world. Almost $3 trillion. Big deal. And then I go through some other of those. I talk about means testing, which is really redistribution of wealth. If you make over $50,000, there's trying to be a law passed in the House of Representatives that if you make over $50,000, you'll give up part of your Social Security and give it to someone who hasn't made as much. I know there's people on the line that are in favor of that. I'm not in favor of redistribution of wealth, but it is something that's getting some traction, in the House of Representatives. Don't you love that dog? That's my favorite picture. I love him. Full retirement age, going from 43 to 54. It's age 66. Goes up 2 months each year to 1960 or later, age 67. A newborn born today, 67 years of age. That baby's full retirement age for Social Security. If you take early, it's discounted. And I take a little more time. This presentation takes me an hour and 5 minutes to do. Yesterday I started at 3 after, and I got 3 after 6, and I got done at 7 after 7. Little did I know when I set this up 2.5 months ago that it was on the night of the college playoff game, LSU versus Clemson. Hey, how about LSU? Yeah, and I was rooting for them. Yeah, if you take Social Security early, it's discounted. You take it 62 and your full retirement age is 66. It's discounted 25%. A $1,000 benefit goes down to $750. A $2,000 benefit goes down to $1,500. Interesting. How about if you wait after full retirement age? It's guaranteed to grow 8%. Remember, if you put cost of living in there, a couple percent. This year it's 1.6% cost of living for Social Security. Last year was 2.8%. The year before that it was 2%. But if it goes up 2%, it grows 10%. If you get a $2,000 benefit, you wait 1 year, you'll get $200 more for the rest of your life. I saw yesterday a guy had a $3,000 full retirement benefit. This guy came from a Social Security workshop, making over $300,000 a year as an exec with an information company. Experian, it's who he worked for before. Yeah, I mean over $1 million of net worth investable assets, and he's going to allow me to work with a portion of that money. But he came in strictly because of Social Security. He just smart guy, but really didn't understand anything about Social Security. And I asked him, why didn't he talk to the guy that's got all the rest of his money? He said, I did, but he doesn't know Social Security. I said, well, you're lucky because I do. And I think the only reason that he's letting me, it's about $300,000 that we're looking at, but he hasn't got any guarantees in his portfolio, right? No contractual guarantees. So I'm going to carve this out for a fixed index, and hopefully it'll be a client. You know what? I paid $2,500 for that workshop. And say that goes through, that's depending on the product that I use, but it's going to be anywhere from, 18,000 commission to 21,000. I mean, I can pay a year's worth of workshops almost, with that one sale if it goes through, which many before have gone through it. I'll tell you what, having a guarantee is a big deal. Guaranteed 25 buying units. Why if you have 24? Well, they're $100 a buying unit. 25 buying units guaranteed, and you pay $2,500. 24 buying units come, you get a check back for $100 or credit on your next workshop of $100. Whatever, nobody comes. You don't pay a thing. The vendor pays that. Not IAMS, not Dave Pemper. How I get paid, I'm not in your hierarchy. I get paid from basically a stipend, a retainer that IAMS, the FMO, puts me on out of their profitability for everyone that comes on and coaches with me and does the seminar. We've got some great success stories. Again, if there's any questions, and I'm going to make sure that we cover this in pretty good time here, so I'm actually going to speed it up a little bit. We'll answer questions when we're done here, anything comes up. So we talk about the spousal benefit. PIA stands for primary insurance amount. That's the amount that you have at full retirement age. If Dave's is $2,400, Amy's is $1,000, they both take. Dave gets his $2,400. Amy can take her benefit, $1,000, or half of Dave's, whichever is higher. What's higher? Half of Dave's, $1,200. $200 top up. He gets $1,200. What happens if Amy never had a working benefit? It takes 40 credit hours for a work. 40 hours, or basically 10 years of work is how much it takes to get a Social Security benefit. Each credit hour, if you have 4 credit hours, it's a little over $5,600, $5,640. So what happens is if you make that much, then you get 4 credits that year. If you have 40 credits or more, you get a Social Security benefit when you retire. Start taking Social Security. So what happens if Amy, say I'm a doctor, Dave's a doctor, he makes really good money. Amy is a volunteer, takes care of the kids, at home mother. Never got her Social Security benefit. That's 6% of the people do not have a Social Security benefit in the U.S. 6%. So Dave takes his. How much can Amy take? All of hers, which is 0, or half a Dave's, which is $1,200. She can take $1,200. What happens if Dave does not take? He waits to 70. How much could Amy take under this 24,000 and 1,000 scenario? She could just take hers. She can't take half a Dave's until Dave starts taking his. Spousal benefits are automatic by Social Security claiming. The administrators, the Social Security claiming will go in and they will take the higher one automatically. Triple play for divorced spouses are Your marriage had to last 10 years, your ex is at least 62, and you're currently not married. If all those three moons line up, you can take Social Security and use your ex as if you're still married to him in Social Security's eyes. And I joke, I say, even if you hate him, and people laugh. Yeah, pretty cool. Why? Because married couples have more options than single couples. And there's no doubt if you're married and you've got some assets, investments or assets or savings, that even gives you more options again. Okay, next slide. Survivor benefit when someone dies. In simple terms, Dave's benefit's $2,000, Amy's is $1,200. Dave dies. Amy can jump up to his benefit. She can keep hers or jump up to his. What does she need to do? 2,000 more, 800 more than 1,200. Now, what's interesting here is with a spousal benefit, it's automatically given or applied by Social Security. With Survivor, you got to go in and ask. How about them apples? Well, if you don't ask, you don't get. And I always say it's biblical. If you don't ask, you don't receive. So what happens is, this is true, and I like to tell stories. I'm a big believer that facts tell and stories sell, or facts tell in emotion. Emotion gets people off of dead center, not facts. So what happens is, this is a true story. This is 10 years ago, right when I started learning Social Security. I was about 54, 53, 54, 55 years of age, and I was in my little town, Fremont, 26,000 people at the library. This gal comes in. She's about 15 years older than me. She might have been 10 years older, maybe 15. She probably was close to 70. And she said, Mr. Pimper, something you said really bothered me during the workshop. And so I'm thinking, gosh, how did I offend her? Because a lot of things come out of my mouth. And she says, I was told that when your spouse dies for Social Security, if their benefit is higher than yours, that you cannot jump up to their benefit. I was told that. I said, who told you that? This is true. She says, my brother. Yeah. So her benefit was $1,300. Her husband's benefit was $1,800. She never requested to jump up to his because her brother told her she couldn't. That's $500 a month times 12 is $6,000 a year. $6,000 a year, and she did it for 5 years. He died 5 years ago. $30,000. Her brother cost her $30,000. How'd you like to be at that Thanksgiving dinner? Across the table. Stories like that, people relate to them. They know that they may make a mistake like that if they don't get good information. We have a video, or digital tape, of course, of me doing this exact workshop. And then Steve Murray, CEO of IAMS, co-owner, him and I got together at the end of that video for about 10 minutes, and we did a little question and answer about what makes a successful seminar. So this is very much of a track. It's very much of a process. You get 3 coaching sessions from me of 45 minutes each. We go through the slides. You get the packet. You get everything we mail out, how to call. I mean, to get the guarantee, everybody needs to be called the day before. No doubt that Facebook marketing is not as sticky as mailed marketing. So, like, give you an example. I just got done with workshops, and we had 81 people respond, and we actually had 27 yesterday and 17. We had 81 people respond, and 44 people came. Of that 44 people that came, we had about, this is fairly wild now, but we had 30 buying units. 30 buying units. I got in the guarantees for 25. Of the 30 buying units, if you're pretty good, you're going to close normally about a third to a half of those for an appointment. So 10 to 13. Believe it or not, I got 23 yeses, 23 appointments out of those 2 nights. And even if 1 or 2 of those drop out, which they normally 1 out of every 10 will, I have over 20 qualified appointments. I mean, 20 appointments. It cost me $2,500. I mean, it's like $115 per appointment. I'm telling you what, that is cheap, cheap, cheap. It's really a good system, but the survivor benefit is something that a lot of people really don't understand. Here's another thing too. My mom she's 96 years old. She's been dating a guy for 8 years. He's also 96 years old. How about them apples? Yeah. But my mom, they were thinking about getting married for a while, but my mom, she was under the belief that if she married her new husband, my husband, or my dad, her husband, had a higher benefit. My dad was a car dealer, made pretty good money. Mom's using the survivor benefit of his. She thought he had to give up the survivor benefit. Well, they didn't get married, and later I heard about that. I said, "Why didn't you and Dean ever get married?" I asked her that about a year ago. She said, "Well, you know what? I'd have to give up Al's benefit, my first husband's benefit." And I said, "No, you don't. That's only if you get remarried under 60 years of age." My mom's 96. She's way over 60. She could either take my dad's benefit, her first husband's benefit, or she could take her second husband's benefit. That's up to her. It gives the benefit up to the spouse. Pretty interesting. But there's 2,700 rules of Social Security. Do I know them all? No. Do I know all the important ones? I do. I do know the important ones. And when we're done coaching you, you're going to know the important ones also. So coordinating spousal benefits. This is the Bipartisan Budget Act 215 did away with file and suspend. But if you're born before January 2nd in 1954, that's an important date. January 2nd in 1954, if you're born before that, you can still restrict your application. What happens when you restrict your application? See, this is again, you're not going to understand all of this most likely, but it's very interesting. There's free money involved. That you will understand. But say David and Amy are both 66. Dave's PIA. You don't have to both be born. Just one of you have to be born before January the 2nd of 54. So what happens is that Dave's PIA is 2,400, Amy's PIA is 1,000. Dave isn't going to take till he's 70. They're 66. They don't want to take till he's 70. Amy wants to take now. She can't get half a Dave's because Dave hasn't taken his yet. She'll be able to take that $200 top up once he turns 70. But Dave can file for a spousal benefit. That means he starts his and stops his in the eyes of Social Security. He starts getting his 8% guaranteed per year delayed retirement credit. When he restricts it to what? A spousal benefit, which is half of your spouse's benefit. Half of 1,000 is 500. That $500 he gets per month times 12 months, 6,000 times 4 years, 24,000. Free money. 0.7 of 1% of all the people that this could benefit them in the U.S. take advantage of it. Less than 1%. 0.7%. Wild. Restricted application. There are reasons to take early. Bad health. Need the money. You got good health, but you got bad genes. And I make another story. I have fun. I say, yeah, let's just say my health is excellent. Excellent. But my 3 only brothers have all done lung cancer, and I'm a smoker. I would probably take early. My odds aren't very good, are they? And the worst, and I have fun with this, I say the worst reason to take early is being uninformed. I said, I used to say, put down being ignorant, but my compliance department thought that was a little too harsh, and then people laugh. Social Security is not a fun subject. It's a boring subject. It's a complicated subject. It's a confusing subject. So you got to make it simple, get specific, easy points across, and have a little fun when you're doing it. You don't have to be a jokester. You don't have to be a humorist. You don't have to be a comedian, but you got to have a little fun. That 17,640 for the earnings test cap is now 18,240 in 2020. If you make above that, you're going to give $1 for every 2 you make in Social Security back. That happens up until 45 or 50,000, then you're going to get all of it back. So there's really no reason to start it. you do get it back as an increase in your monthly benefit at full retirement age, but they take it out quickly in a number of 1, 2, 3, 4 years. They give it back to yourself with no interest over a lifetime. So if you've got good income coming in and they're going to take an excessive amount away from you, I would not be claiming Social Security. At the age of 66 and past, you can make as much as you want. Social Security myth number 3, you're going to get the biggest family benefit waiting to claim to age 70. Not true. In fact, statistically, it's a little over the age of 67 is the best time to claim for the family. Now, here's what happens is, I say Social Security is the worst water cooler talk there is. Hey, Dave, I took it 62 and you should too. Hey, Dave, I took it 70 and you should too. That's like saying, hey, Dave, my color is violet and yours should be too. It's so individual. It's so unique. You can't just broad brush Social Security claiming. And that's why you've got the Social Security Administration who cannot give advice. They can't ask key questions to find out when your best time to claim is. There are do-overs in the first year. If you pay your money back, yeah, you can completely do it over in the first year. Like that gal that forgot about her husband's, could jump up to the husband's death benefit. She lost out on 30 grand. We did get $3,000 for her. We could retroactive that 6 months and just say I should have done it a long time ago. They'll give you up to 6 months of retro benefit. You have to be at least full retirement age and over. And once you start your benefit under full retirement age, you can't stop it until you hit full retirement age. Now, you could in the first year, but if you were out more than a year and you're still not full retirement age, you can't stop the benefit. At full retirement age, you can stop the benefit. Boy, isn't there just a lot of things? I'll say in the beginning of Social Security tax, it depends. If you make under the thresholds, you're not taxed. If you make over the thresholds, you're taxed. 50% of your Social Security income is taxed, or 85% is taxed. There's always 15% that is tax-free and is not taxed. Reducing taxation on Social Security, I laugh at the last one. Delay Social Security reduces the number of years of benefits are subject to tax. That's what I'm doing. My wife took it 62. That was the best time for her to take. I'm waiting at 70. That's my best time to take. Everyone is unique and different. But converting money from taxable to tax-free, the tax rates now with the high deductions, deductibilities. I mean, if you're both 65 or over, you got from the Fed, you got $27,000 worth of standard deduction before you pay. That means you can make that much money before you pay a penny. I don't think we'll ever see that probably in my lifetime again. And that sunsets out after the year of 2025. But traditional Roth conversions could be something that could be very beneficial. Social Security myth number 5, Social Security Administration will give you the best advice on how to maximize. Don't you love it, the unicorn? Yeah, what can the SS Administration do? They can give you your highest benefit right now. They cannot give you advice. And I love this next slide right here. This comes right from their POMS, their Program Operational Manual System. Number D, provide enough information so that claimants can make informed choices, but do not give advice. Who gives advice? Moi, Dave Pimper does. Who gives advice? If you're giving the workshop, you do. Why? Because I'm going to coach you up. There's a book to read, what I consider the Bible of all Social Security books. You're going to buy that book for $20. You're going to read it. You're going to learn it. You're going to understand Social Security. I tell you what, it's a great subject for lead generation. Unbelievable. Makes you a better advisor, retirement advisor also. There's different income streams, but when to claim at the right time, I believe Social Security is the most flexible. And we talk about the 5 pillars of income: wages, pensions, income-producing assets, RMDs, and Social Security. Social Security is by far the most important. I go through this exact same worksheet with them when we get together. And number 3 is where I make my money. Like yesterday I had 4 appointments. One was from a Retirement Boss Radio, and they didn't show up. The other 3 are from Social Security that I had last Thursday. They all showed up. Get a load of this. The investable assets total. Now, I didn't work with all those, but the investable assets, first one was $800,000, next one was $750,000. The last one was $1.7 million. I mean, I'm swinging at $1 million portfolios. Now, do I get the whole portfolio? Usually not. Sometimes I do, but usually not. But one of them had in Vanguard funds, a dormant state. Been there for 11 years. He'd worked there and then for 20-some years left, but it's $310,000, and he's open for me to propose on him for that. He has no guarantees, contractual guarantees in his portfolio. That's what has interest for him. Right up my alley, right up my wheelhouse. 5 pillars of income. That's where we uncover the assets. So I talked about, there's just a ton of questions, and I say as we're finishing tonight, when to claim your benefit, survivor benefit, divorce benefit. I mean, there's a lot to consider for your best decision, not someone else's, but for your best decision. There aren't many programs that have a guarantee when it comes to marketing because there's so many variables in marketing. But I'm telling you right now, when you have a guarantee, get a load of this. We've done a lot. We rolled this program out about 5 months ago. But of all the people that have done seminars with us from then, all the ones that are lined up to do seminars, our vendor, it doesn't come out of my pocket, it doesn't come out of IAMS as the FMO's pocket. Not once, we've had at least 25 buying units in every single campaign. How great is that? Pretty cool. Guaranteed. No meals, no more mailings, no more empty rooms. Coaching, you get 3 months of Social Security software. You get coaching from me and ongoing correspondence from me. You can use me within reason as much as you want. I'm telling you what, it's quite a package if you want to get in front of more appointments. Yeah, I present over 500 public workshops. I always laugh. I'm starting to get the hang of it now. But I take a complicated subject and make it easier. It's a turnkey system and coaching from myself. Mass Media Group is the company. They're one of the fastest growing companies in South Carolina. They'll purchase over $12 million in media. They are a behemoth with a very small overhead. And my last couple slides, I talk about procrastination. And I joke, I say in all my years, I don't think I've ever had anyone come to me and say, gosh, Dave, I've made so much money from procrastinating. You can't believe I got rich from procrastinating. And there's no slogan that says, procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. Tomorrow never comes. I say, folks, the people who take action are normally the most successful. Folks, who is I always ask, what is Nike Shoe Company's slogan? And then someone will say, just do it. I'll say, you know what? That's a successful firm. Just do it. Why do I do this? Because it builds up to the appointment setting sheet who I bring in next. I'm basically telling them, if you don't take action, you're not going to be as successful as you could be. But isn't that true? I mean, true for most people. Yeah. You know what? If you stay in bed for a little bit in the morning, you could get a little more rest. If you stay in there for a long, long time, you're going to get bed sores. Yeah. You don't want that inactivity happening to a person, especially the advisor. We have dates. We have time periods. We tell them we'll call them back the next day. I have specific language, how to really get them to sign that up. And then my very last slide, I go in and I talk about George Foreman. I said, did everybody know who George Foreman is? Yep. He made a ton of money boxing. He's best known. And I believe, time out, I believe emotion is what gets people to sign up and in liking me and being happy. So I want to end on a high note, kind of a happy high note, fun note. I'll say, yeah, George was 45 years old when he won back the championship, boxing championship, heavyweight, oldest ever. But I said, you know where to this day, where George Foreman has made the majority of his net worth, and someone says the George Foreman Grill. And I say that's exactly right. In fact, I say Google it up. He made $136.5 million just to sign his name to a grill. So, folks, here's how I'm going to leave this. Unless you have your name on a grill, you need to mark yes on that consultation form and see me. And then people laugh or they may clap. We'll be picking up. And that's it. So I think the first slide and the last 3 or 4 slides, how I got language for all of this. What happens is I think that's probably 50% whether you'll get an appointment or not. The other 50% is your demeanor. But, you know, what you say, they want to feel like, hey, if I don't talk to Dave Pimper, if I don't talk to John Doe, who's on the webinar with, if I don't talk to that seminar guy, if I don't talk to that advisor, I may claim at the wrong time. Nobody wants to do the wrong thing. Everybody wants to do the right thing. So what we're going to do here, let's go in and we're going to put up, Scott's going to put up the poll. And so if you mark yes on this poll, Nicole is going to call you, and please take the call. I mean, don't mark yes and then not take the call, or don't mark yes on this and just don't do that. I mean, be a professional. If you mark yes, yeah, you know, then Nicole's going to set a time and date for us to talk on the phone, not one of my assistants, or it'll be me. We're going to talk for about 20, 25 minutes. I know you're busy. I'm extremely busy mainly with appointments and servicing my clientele, writing new business. But I tell you, we're going to go in and see if seminar could be a marketing program that could help you. I know if you don't know Social Security inside and out, the coaching alone, my gosh, to learn, it's really is 2 for 1. Hopefully you'll get in front of a lot of qualified appointments, but secondly, you're going to learn Social Security claiming, which only 12 to 15% of all people in the financial business, financial advisors. You know, I asked my CPA, lawyer, and banker what they knew about Social Security before I got into it. They knew virtually nothing. All of them said they referred to the Social Security Administration, who can't give advice. So I have my share of referrals coming for Social Security, which a lot of those turn into money from CPAs, from bankers, from lawyers. I mean, I mean, I'm known in town as the person who, you know, I talk about Social Security. It's on my cards. So if you mark yes, which I encourage you to do, we're going to leave this poll open for maybe 2 more minutes or 3 more minutes. But mark yes. I'd love to talk to you and just give you an idea of what you're doing and maybe give you some insight of what you could be doing. Scott, is there any questions, specific questions that came up in our time period?
We've got a few that have come in, Dave, and a couple that we're going to need to address off one-on-one situations. Yeah. But one that came in that I think is really interesting, that I think you could speak on really well, is specific to the Secure Act that just passed and how that might affect Social Security and the intertwining there. Any commentary you'd like to give in generalities there?
I don't think per se it's going to affect Social Security itself, but I think it's going to complement it pretty much on the 401k, that annuities are going to be able to be not variable. I mean, you could always do a variable. I'm talking about a fixed indexed income stream, some kind of principal guarantee. I think that's going to go in, especially from the income for life. I think that source is going to complement another lifetime income annuity, which is Social Security. So is Social Security itself getting changed from this act? No. But will it complement Social Security as far as an income stream that's guaranteed, contractually guaranteed? Yes, that it certainly will, to replace the pension business that's been lost.
Absolutely. That's a great way to look at it and great answer there. Next question that came in is kind of, I guess, sustainability of the social media invitation aspect, Dave. I know the answer to this, but I think it's best heard from someone that's using it. They're concerned about it being a flash in the pan type thing. Can you speak to how long you've been using it?
Well, if you think Facebook is a flash in the pan, then you know what? Shouldn't do the workshop. I'm telling you, is Facebook is Microsoft, Facebook, Google? I mean, it's not. I mean, this social media, I never knew. I don't understand it. Scott, you're younger than I am. Your age group has. I mean, how much do you guys use Facebook?
Quite a bit. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, actively engaged.
Instagram, yeah. You know why? Because it's the way that people socialize. I didn't think people 55 and over, 55 to 70, who's our target group. I really didn't think a lot of those. I mean, I have Facebook. I have put a comment in before, but I don't even know how to post. I don't know how to take. I bet I've only taken 30 pictures on my phone. I mean, I just don't do that much. But you know what? We don't have grandkids either. And if you have grandkids, and of course our kids are they've flown the coop. But I was amazed, and I think that's why we do get more women than we used to get, because I think that women might use Facebook even more. I can't tell you why. That's just I'm surmising that, but no, it's not a flash in the pan. One of the questions though that maybe this person just to pivot here that he kind of asked, could I burn out my area? And that's true. I mean, remember, location's important. So this Facebook, when you're doing a mailing, you can be more precise of who you mail to and the specific zipper area. This gets a little more far-fetched. But I will say this, if you're in a bigger area, if you got three places that you do workshops, that helps. You don't burn out the area. If you can only go to one area, then I wouldn't do it any more than 4 times a year, every 3 months. So we work with you. We game plan with you. We help you go in and give you information and kind of prod you along and help you, coach you with finding the library, the school. We like it to be an educational center, retirement center, municipal center. Phil B up in Maine, he uses a hotel that's got I don't like hotels, but he uses a hotel up there. And Scott, Phil B has been very successful. Made it to our last production trip.
Yeah,
and
Mr. B is knocking it out of the park with this system, and he's in a very, very remote area of the country, and he's crushing it right now.
Listen to this. So the vendor, he's given 3 workshops up there. The vendor said it's so rural. You're supposed to have, we need enough population, to go in and to have enough people on Facebook. So Phil did it, and he said, but the vendor didn't give the guarantee. It doesn't happen often, and we hope we can get 80 people there. And he had like 120 signups. And I remember the vendor going, boy, they must really like Facebook up there. But he got some very good business out of that. Let's leave on this because we're going a little past time, but I'll leave on this. I see here somebody asked what kind of premium dollar, what kind of dollars are you averaging? And averaging is hard to, sometimes are better, sometimes they're worse, but out of all those new Social Security workshops I had, I've not done less than 250,000, and I would say it's closer to 500,000 that I'm averaging, $500,000 from the workshop itself. I mean, they've paid for themselves for the next years and years and years. So, last thing, Mark, yes, if you want some help from me, if you want some insight from me, maybe not interested about seminar marketing, but maybe it's Retirement Boss Radio, being a radio host. Maybe it's about just sales process. Maybe it's about, there's all kinds of things that I can coach you up on and help you. But I will tell you what, the hot thing on the market right now is Social Security workshops and Facebook marketing with the guarantee.
Couldn't agree with you more there, Dave. And, I'll tell you this, for those that are remaining with us, if you haven't clicked yes, if you're looking for anything to help you take your production up to the next level, Dave's a tried and true producer. He believes in seminars and has the expertise to back it up. But I'd tell you to click yes if you just want to have a conversation with a sales coach. Maybe we need to review your process a little bit and what we can do to help you take that next step. Dave is a great resource for that with a ton of expertise. I would highly encourage you to click yes and have that introductory conversation. Can't hurt anything.
Nope, that's right. Well, thank you, everybody, for taking the time today. I know time is money, and time is valuable because everybody has the same amount of time. It's how you use it, so hopefully you're using it efficiently and productively. It's Dave Pimper with Lazarus Coaching and signing off. And if there's any questions, certainly give us a holler.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, Dave. We appreciate all you do, and to everyone that joined us on the webinar, thank you so much. We know that this time is time where you're not marketing and prospecting, so we appreciate you greatly. Have a great sales day, everyone, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.